I know that not everyone would make the design decision that I did on this restoration piece, but I invite you to stick it out and tell me what you think in the end. Hi, I'm Lana, and together, let's make something beautiful, something made for you. I purchased the 3-piece vanity set and then this 3-drawer dresser on Facebook Marketplace. I had initially planned to match the 2 3-drawer dressers and make an oversized nightstand set. That didn't go as planned, however, but we'll save that for the next video. So, back to this dresser. It had been refinished before, but that finish was really dark and failing. So my goal was to lighten and brighten it to allow that gorgeous wood grain to show through. There's a few chips and dings which will require some filling and some color correction, and the center drawer tracks are missing, so I'll need to figure out a plan to replace those as well. But before I could firm up any design decisions, everything had to be prepped. Before sanding, I always clean the piece thoroughly with a degreaser. Used furniture often has residue left behind, old polish, wax, oils, or even silicone, and sanding over that just pushes contaminants deeper into the surface. Once everything was clean and dry, I moved on to sanding. I started with 120 grit to break through the old dark finish and even things out without doing any damage. I'm using my Festool orbital sander here, along with some high quality sandpaper. I repeated the same process on the sides of the dresser and filled any deep chips or gouges with wood filler. Don't worry, I'll show you how I disguise those repairs later on in the video. Then, in the more detailed and delicate areas on the front of the piece, I used acetone to help remove the remaining finish. Acetone dries really quickly, so you have to keep moving. From there, I moved to 180 grit to further refine the surface and remove any remaining stain. After that, I hand sanded everything with a 220 grit sandpaper. This step helps remove any swirl marks left behind by the sander and gives you more control over the surface, especially when you're working with veneer. As a final step, I wiped the entire piece down with acetone one last time. This wipe gives me a very honest preview of what the veneer will look like under a natural top coat. It also removes any remaining dust, and if there were still swirl marks or scratches hiding in the surface, I would see them immediately. After sanding down and preparing the drawers the same way I did the body of the dresser, I applied a coat of shellac. The goal here is to create a sealed, predictable surface that the transfer will adhere to properly, without having to deal with long cure times from an oil-based product. Once the shellac had dried, I gave it a light sanding with 400 grit sandpaper to make sure that the surface was nice and smooth, and then cleaned off any dust and debris with a microfiber cloth and some water. I also quickly marked all 3 drawers with tape so that I knew which was the top, middle, and bottom, because I certainly did not want to put this transfer on in the wrong order. On paper, this transfer is listed as 24 by 35 inches, but the actual printed transfer area is a bit smaller. The paper itself is true to size, but the design starts slightly inset, which means I ended up with just over 22 inches of usable height instead of the full 24. That became important because my drawer stack was right around 24 inches tall. To apply the transfer, I positioned the bottom 2 drawers tightly together and applied the lower portion of the transfer across both drawers at once. I burnished the transfer starting with the edges and the corners before starting to pull it back. This shows you any spots that aren't quite adhered down, and you can go back and burnish them again. This is a slow process. You need to be careful, but it's worth it in the end. After burnishing the transfer fully, I separated the two drawers with a sharp utility knife. I repeated the same process with the middle and top drawers, applying the second piece of the transfer across both and cutting them apart once it was fully adhered. This worked quite well, but positioning is critical. As soon as you start lifting the backing, parts of the transfer will begin to stick. If it grabs in the wrong spot, you don't get a second chance. And that did happen here. And it meant I had to do some recovery work using a touch-up marker to clean up small areas where the transfer didn't release cleanly. The bigger issue, though, was at the top. Because the transfer design was about 1.5 inches shorter than the full drawer stack, I ended up with a very straight, squared-off edge. If I were doing this again, I'd handle that completely differently. Instead of trying to extend the design afterwards, I would cut the transfer organically around the existing shapes. That way, the edge would feel intentional instead of abrupt. I also could have positioned the transfer differently from the start. In this case, lining up the left-hand side of the design instead of the right would have reduced how noticeable the cutoff line was at the top. As you can see, I did try to patch that area by cutting and layering small pieces of the transfer over top to disguise the line. But in the end, I really didn't like how it looked. I ended up scraping that back, lightly sanding the area, reapplying shellac where needed, and then blending everything using black and white touch-up markers. It took extra time, but it was the cleaner solution. Next, I turned my attention to the body of the dresser. Before applying anything, I wiped the entire piece down again with a microfiber cloth to make sure there was no remaining dust on the surface. Then, I applied shellac using a foam roller. I used a 50-50 mix of clear shellac and amber shellac. Originally, I had purchased the amber by mistake, but mixing it with clear turned out to be a really good compromise. The amber adds just a slight warmth to the walnut without noticeably changing the color, and the clear keeps it from feeling too heavy or orange. The first coat gives me a sealed, even surface to work on before moving into repairs and color correction. At this point, I like to pull out all the products I may need and work through them gradually. For this piece, that included Blendal Sticks in a few different tones, sanding sealer, Mohawk Perfect Blend, a walnut toner, and a graining pen. I also had some pencil crayons on hand, though I didn't end up using those here. I started by building color using a couple of different Blendal Sticks. When I'm layering color like this, I'll often use a light coat of sanding sealer in between layers. That helps lock in each step and keeps the repair from getting muddy. On the smaller sand-through areas along the edges and drawer fronts, the process was a bit simpler. Once the color was close, I used Mohawk Perfect Blend to help disguise those spots and soften the transitions into the surrounding wood. Then, to bring everything together, I sprayed a walnut toner across the entire top. Rather than spot spraying, I moved back and forth evenly across the whole surface so the repair blends into the wood instead of standing out. I also carried that toner lightly across the drawer fronts where the drawers intersect, just to keep everything cohesive. Before sealing, I went back into the repaired area on the top with a graining pen and added a few subtle graining lines. That small step makes a big difference and helps the repair disappear visually. Once I was happy with the blending, I sealed everything with clear shellac. I used a spray rather than rolling on so that I don't disturb any of the repair work I've just done. Before reassembling everything, I did a quick cleanup and repair on the drawers themselves. I started by cleaning both the inside and outside of the drawers with mineral spirits. Along the drawer edges, there was a bit of overspray from the original finish. So I sanded that back and then blended those areas using Blendal Sticks and some Perfect Blend to soften and disguise the repair. All three drawer tracks were missing their center guides, so the drawers were shifting side to side a bit. Rather than replacing the entire system, I used a piece of trim molding that was the right size and fit the existing track. I measured and cut it to length on my miter saw, glued it in place, and then slid the drawers back in while the glue was still wet. That way, the drawer itself keeps everything properly aligned as it dries, and once it's all set, the drawer glides smoothly again. Once that glue was dry, in order to help everything slide a bit more smoothly, I finished the drawer tracks with a light coat of beeswax finish, and then I was ready to put everything back together. And here's how this dresser turned out. It's a graphic black and white botanical transfer on a walnut veneer restoration piece, and it's definitely not a choice everyone would make. I'm curious what camp you fall into. Would you try something like this on a modern piece? Maybe stick to something a bit more traditional for a transfer, or skip transfers altogether? Drop me a comment to let me know what you think. And remember that vanity set that was supposed to match this? Well, the next video walks you through that refinishing process, and as I mentioned before, it didn't quite go as planned. Thank you so much for watching. Check the description for all the products I used in this video, as well as a few more. Please like, comment, and subscribe to let me know if you want more videos like this one.